What is up, guys? It's your Average Joe with Average Joe Raids. Today we're going to take a look at a full auto normal rotation 2 Hydra clan boss team. Quite the mouthful. I want to say thank you for all of the love and support lately. We've gotten about 12 new subscribers in the last day. We're continuing to grow. I am so thankful for all of you guys that tune in, give me some views, and hopefully get something out of the content that I'm creating. Again, this channel is geared towards mid-game to end-game, more of your average player. And so I don't have gear from 3 years of farming that I'm throwing on champs. I want to make these videos relatable so that you can see what maybe you could do with your account before spending the silver to try something out. So thank you again for all the support. If you're new here or if you've been here before, hit the subscribe button because you can always change your mind later if you find out that you actually don't like average content. So there you go. So we're going to take a look at a video or at a team today that is going to be basically, we're going to make the Hydra clan boss damage itself. It's going to be full auto on normal on this new rotation. So I'll take a look at the new heads on this rotation. We will run the clan boss, the Hydra run that I did, and then I'll take a look at the builds afterwards. So let's get into it. Get into this Hydra here, and we'll hit battle, go to this boss guide here. So Head of Blight, we haven't seen him for a while. He is the poison head. He's just putting out tons and tons of poisons. A1 is putting out poisons on everyone. A2 is putting out poisons on everyone. A3 is the poison cloud, which if you don't know what that is, it's unremovable. It's a buff that goes up on all of the Hydra heads. And basically it makes every hit against them be a weak hit, which also means any debuff that you would normally put on during a hit attack doesn't go on. And so it does block some debuffs like that. Now, if it's a debuff that just places, think of like Dracomorphs, decrease defense and weaken, and think of Geomancer's burn and weaken. Those things that place but don't do damage when they place will still place when the poison cloud is up. But any debuff that tries to place with a hit is not going to place. And so that is the poison head of Blight. We've got the Head of Torment, which we've seen a lot lately. He's been the last couple of rotations. This is the Fear head. He is going to put a fear on anyone that attacks him, and also I think can put a fear on you when he attacks you. We have Head of Mischief, which we have also seen quite a bit lately. He is the block stealing head, and so sorry, not the block stealing head, the buff stealing head. So he is going to be the one that's stealing the buffs from your champions, the one that has the most buffs. And so this is where the resistance tank strategy comes in, where you can have a resistance champ that's built up with a lot of resistance and give him an additional buff, which for me, I use Inquisitor Shamel, and I give him a ring that gives him the shield afterwards. And then we have Head of Wrath, which is just putting out tons of damage. When you hit him 14 times, he goes into this enrage mechanic where he does even more damage. And so we basically, between Head of Wrath and Head of Blight, they're putting out a lot of damage, and we're going to use that to our advantage with this team. So you can see the team here. We've got double Geomancer, Venus, Mother Cybele, Arbiter, and also Inquisitor Shamel. So let me pull up the run. We'll take a look at it, and we'll play it back at maybe 2 times speed or a little bit faster, and see what happens here. This is full auto. I'm going to move myself out of the way so you guys can see that the auto is running the entire time. I did run this full auto and actually got a ton of damage out of it. And I think, obviously the double Geomancer is going to do incredible because the Head of Decay isn't in this rotation, so you don't have to worry about your buffs being cleansed off all the time. And so even without Inquisitor Shamel, obviously he's doing work from keeping the fears off of us and he does increase that Geomancer's turn meter. But if you had a Rector Droth or somebody else that puts on Perfect Veil across the whole team, that could basically replace Inquisitor Shamel if you have them running fast enough. So basically, he's not fully needed in this team. He's just my best way of blocking fears for this team. The double Geomancer, I know most people that build 2 Geomancers want to run them in different teams, but if you have other really overpowered champions that you could put in a separate team, this team actually brought a lot more damage to the table than I thought was possible. And technically, the damage could only go up because most of this damage is reflected damage. And so if you're facing a clan or a Hydra team that's even higher, say if we take this up to hard, it's only going to reflect even more damage. And so this was full auto. I want to take this team and manual it on hard and see if I can get a 1-key hard out of it, but I will speed this up a little bit. We'll skip ahead. Basically, the best things about this team is Venus is getting that AoE decreased defense and weaken on. She's also doing burns. Obviously, Geomancers are doing their thing. Mother Cybele, with her constant revive on deaths, is actually doing huge things for us. And the fact that when she dies, if she dies with a revive on death and she gets revived, it's boosting everyone's turn meter. It's healing everyone. Arbiter has that full team revive and also a big heal that's coming in when everyone's low. And so between those two, basically that's what's keeping the team alive this whole time. And so it did get a little dodgy there for a little bit, but pretty much from now on until the very end, everyone stays pretty healthy for the most part. And people do go down, but the revive on deaths and the full team revive is doing wonders for us. And then Geomancers are just putting their burns out and taking all the damage that this rotation is doing to us and just throwing it right back in their face. And so you can see right here with 6 minutes into the run on full auto, we're almost to a 1-key on normal. And so this team can full auto a 1-key on normal in less than 7 minutes and less than 6.5 minutes. So I'm going to fast forward ahead. So basically you see what's happening here. I do target like downed heads. So I will go ahead and click like a downed head, or if a champ gets eaten, I'll click that. But other than that, this run is full auto. And I am going to skip ahead because this run ends up being about 20 minutes. So about 6 minutes later from where we just were, we're almost to 15 million damage. We do have Head of Decay popping up now. So obviously some of this is RNG based, but even with Head of Decay up, we're still able to get a lot of damage out, which I think says a lot because it's not just all about Geomancer's burns, basically, even though that is a huge part. So let's fast forward towards the end of the run. I know we hit 20 minutes and then I went down not long after that. So here, 20 minutes in, we're at 22 million damage on full auto on normal. And so this is the power of Geomancers, just throwing the damage right back in the Hydra's face. Everyone goes down here shortly after 20 minutes, and then I'll pause it on the final damage screen. We can take a look at the numbers. So do die here soon. Hit 23 million, so we squeaked out that little extra. 23.05 million damage. Our Geomancers combined had 10.5 of that damage, so they're almost half the damage there. Venus has actually more damage than one of the Geomancers, so she's pushing 6 million damage. She's got a lot in her. Mother Cybele, 2.5 million damage, even though she's not built for damage. So I'll show you that build. Inquisitor Shamel actually doing a ton of damage here because of Head of Blight putting out all those poisons. He's counterattacking for each poison that gets placed, so that's huge. And Arbiter is just keeping us going, and you can see she has over 1 million in heals, so she's doing a lot of work there. Let's take a look at the builds, and then I'll get you guys on your way. So let's go into champs here. And we've got Arbiter. We'll start out with her. This is just an arena build. You guys have seen it before if you've seen other videos. 317 speed, 2500 defense, 48,000 attack, no crit, a little bit of resistance, and not very much, a little bit of accuracy. Venus here used to be built for Spider. I don't really use her anywhere other than Tag Team Arena right now, and Hydra. So 49,000 health, 2,500 attack, 1,500 defense. That's low. 234 speed, no crit rate, no crit damage, and then built with a lot of accuracy. So there's a lot more damage to be had from Venus with some crit rate and some crit damage here. Going down here, we got Mother Cybele. Like I said, she's not built for damage, and she still put out 2.5 million damage. And it's because of all those AoE attacks. She's got 56,000 health, 1,500 defense, 1,900, almost 2,000 defense. 197 speed. She could be faster. 45% crit rate, no crit damage. 306 accuracy to get those decreased speeds to land. She is in a Guardian set to basically provide that ally attack or ally protection to everyone, where she takes up 10% of the damage. She also heals herself for 10%. So that is big for us. Let's scroll down here. Who else did we have in the team? We had Inquisitor Shamel, and he has 37,000 health, 3,000 attack, 1,900 defense, 158 speed, no crit rate or crit damage, 441 resistance. So that is what he is built for. He is a resistance tank, which is why I have him slower as well, so the buffs stay on him for longer. And then he's basically just cleansing those fears off of us from Head of Torment. And then we've got the stars of the show, the 2 Geomancers. This is the one that got out damaged by Venus. He's in 40,000 health, 2699 attack, 1,700 defense, 187 speed. He's got no crit rate, no crit damage, and 320 accuracy. He is in a reflex set, which is good, but I've sacrificed some stats on him because of it, because I don't have great reflex gear. And then the second Geomancer is a little bit more tanky, 41,000 health, 2,100 attack, 2,700 defense, 214 speed, so he's a little faster, no crit rate, no crit damage, 325 accuracy, so he's running some really good accuracy as well. So those two don't have any crit rate or crit damage on them. They're just basically getting all of their damage from their A3 damage reflection. And so that's how we made the Hydra clan boss kill itself. And I think that was a pretty fun team to put together. I know not everyone can do that, but if you do have 2 Geomancers, consider putting them together and trying out like a harder difficulty. I'm going to do that on manual later this week. I may or may not make a video about that, but thank you guys for everyone who has made it this far. Again, if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Stay average, friends. I will see you in the next one.